I spent the last week trying to figure out why the meme coin economy is such a flourishing sector of all cryptos, and I discovered that you can make 2x in 15 minutes pretty reliably on these meme coins. Dumb stuff like Bonk AI on Sol, if you know how to screen out the appropriate bad items and you're willing to wait around a little bit. Most of the work is in the setup. In this case, jumping in really early on is going to be a problem for the reasons I'll explain. After a pull down, though, with strong volume, it's pretty reasonable to buy in here. So no, I didn't trade this one yesterday because I didn't discover it until later, until we were already over here, and that was too late. But I like to look for this setup. First pull down after a big run, that's the first wave. The second wave you can buy in. You'll notice that it would have been reasonable, we're on a 1 minute chart, to buy in maybe here, right in the 160-ish range. Sell out here, 320. That's timing it perfectly at the top. It's conceivable that you could have done that. You might have hit sell on this candle as it was going up, and you would have gotten here. If you decided to hold through that dip, you could have clearly made more money here. So buying in here initially, that's at 12:44, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. That's an 8-minute trade. 9, 10, 11, that would have been herring. 12, 13, 14, 15. You would have been selling out again in this candle. So quite conceivable to do this, and you would have gotten a few chances to get out before the big decline. That is why people are trading these dumb things, even if they all die off, and why I think this will be an important area of the crypto economy to understand. Hey everyone, it's Dr. Sebastian Purcell, the CEO of 1.2 Labs and 1.2 Capital Management. I am delivering a walkthrough video for all of the things that you need to trade meme coins. Not exactly meme coins like the one that you're looking at, Cock Inu on AVAX. I started here because there's a $100 million initiative by AVAX to promote their meme coin economy, and Cock Inu is well positioned to capitalize on some of that money. Turns out, though, that AVAX is not there, and you'll understand why. Maybe they will be, but at present, all of the meme coin trading is on Solana. So what I'm going to do in this video is just show you all of the things that you need to trade on Solana-based meme coins. It's not something you can do with lots of money, but it's at least worth knowing if, like me, you are investing larger sums of money and you just want to understand the viability of this economy. If you're a small trader, it's a way to turn maybe $200 into $500 in 15 minutes of work if the broader conditions in the market are favorable. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at some of these things right now. I use Dex Screener for a lot of this stuff, and I'm just going to show you why I don't think that AVAX is here yet. So I've gone to new pairs on my Dex Screener. I'm going to filter. I'm going to go to platforms, and I'm going to go to just Avalanche, save. I'm going to apply that. This gives me all of the meme coins that were launched on Avalanche over the past 24 hours. I mean, it says something that there are that many meme coins launched on Avalanche, but it's just not anywhere close to Solana. Like, these have coins more than every 5 minutes, and it's a Saturday morning. Okay, with a crappy broader market. This is why I'm saying that all of the meme coin trading is on Solana. So in order to do this, you're going to need a centralized exchange where you can buy Sol and then withdraw that. Typically, I'd want to have a Phantom wallet so that you can withdraw from your centralized exchange to a Phantom wallet. And yeah, just download it from Chrome and install. I actually have mine installed, so I'm not going to do that, but it's pretty easy to use. And there are a billion explainer videos on this, so I don't need to waste my time on it. You can withdraw the Sol that you buy to your Phantom wallet, and you'll be mostly ready to go. The other thing, of course, that you'll need is Telegram desktop. You're going to need the desktop version of Telegram. Trying to do all of this on your phone, I guess you could try. Go for it. But I find it much easier to run a Telegram version on my desktop, so this is a Windows machine. You can get, obviously one from a Mac, but I get this and I have mine running on the side. And the reason for that is because you're also going to need to get BonkBot. BonkBot is Telegram's, it's the best Telegram trading bot. There's a referral code below this video, so you can get a discount on your trades. This charges per trade as I understand it, and if you use the referral code, I get a little bit off my trades and you get a little bit off yours. Everybody wins, they get more users, whatever. So there you go, it's BonkBot. You need a bot because this is a really fast trading environment, and you're going to have to install it. What you do after you start trading, right, is it'll take you to a thing to install the app in your Telegram. I will have a separate video that goes through all of my settings, and for those of you who are subscribers at least the $15 a month level, you will get on a weekly basis our settings for our BonkBot for meme coins. In general, this is just going to be needed for fast execution. All right. Beyond that, you'll want to watch a couple of things, and again, here I'm going to plug our newsletter. On our newsletter, we have a macro section. If you don't want to follow on all of the data and try to parse through it yourself, you can just read the newsletter. Todd May holds down the macro fort for the most part, Dr. Todd May, and we're looking at this data on a weekly basis. You don't need to look at this faster than that. So these are two versions of the National Financial Conditions Index. This is one of the main indicators that we find helpful and that's free to the public. It uses 105 components to measure how restrictive or loose the macroeconomy is. When you see the main line is that black line. Okay, when it's below the midpoint, financial conditions are loose. When it's above the midpoint, financial conditions are tight, meaning we are in a recession. This was COVID, for example. I use the adjusted rather than the regular because the adjustments do add a bit more accuracy. You'll see the component parts down here. The main thing that you'll want to worry about is in fact just this line and whether or not it is moving up too much. You'll see that recently we've had a nice downtrend, and basically starting 2023 there was a little rise here. This was Silicon Valley Bank, all of that stuff in March. That passed and financial conditions became pretty loose again. The markets have gone up after COVID bailout. We got really low levels here, and we all remember what happened for that bull market, right? So really low readings equals lots of liquidity in the market. In general, risk on assets tend to go up. In 2022 they started tightening again, and we know that was a pretty bad year for risk on assets. So this is a pretty helpful indicator. If it starts going up a lot, then meme coins are not going to do well. In fact, every risk on asset is going to do poorly. So your meme coins, which are definitely a risk on asset, there's just not going to be enough liquidity for people to gamble on meme coins. Okay, so do pay attention to this one. It's a once weekly check. If you don't want to do all the analysis or aren't certain about how to do the analysis, you can just subscribe to our newsletter, link below. It's free. We'll do the work for you. You have a couple of PhDs look at this. The other thing that we look at pretty regularly is just the Fed tightening cycle. Everyone is right now, about more than half of people are expecting the first interest rate cut in the United States to happen in June. Right, we're at 525 to 550 basis points, and this indicates a 25 basis points cut. That's 1/4 of 1%. There's 100 basis points in 1%. That's what's indicated here. The main thing you need to know is that if interest rates are foreseen in the next so many months, probably markets will over the longer term do all right. So these first two checks tell you about the macro economy and that things are at least looking up at the moment. If this changes quickly, right, and we start getting revisions here to here, that's going to be super bad news, because the only reason the Fed would be cutting interest rates when it was unexpected like that is if the economy is doing poorly. So this is, as it is right now, we have a long-term time horizon, eventual cuts, all of that looks good for the moment. So those are our first two indicators. Next, we're going to want to go to TradingView, and I don't have anything special loaded up for this chart. There's a link in the description below if you want to use the paid version of TradingView, but what you can see right now is all available for free. I just got some of my watch list off to the side here. This is the total, which is a combination of all of the main registered coins in the cryptocurrency world. Our meme coins won't register in the total, but everything else, okay? And obviously the prices have gone up. This is a 200-day moving average line. You can add your indicators here and just type in moving average and set that to 200, and that's what you've got there. I've isolated the couple of points in which it broke below that, but and obviously at this point, right? So these were wrong signals, like that was noise. This was not noise, and obviously we've gone up from there. You might also want to look at Bitcoin as an indicator. I drew some brostrology trend and resistance lines. Dom and I on the team call it that because there's no intrinsic reason why these lines should have any meaning, but people expect them to have meaning, and so they tend to be self-reinforcing. It's especially important when you're trading. So these are long-term resistance and support levels that are drawn out. Previous, just a lot of history. Effectively, this is one level, that was a top here, top here, top here, and they go on. This is sort of a trend line here, which had points of connection here and on back, etc. So we identified these. We happen to have broken above our most recent one. This is perfect. For those of you who don't know much about technical analysis, this is exactly what you want to see. Sort of a slight move to break out above that resistance level, drop back down, and then moved up again. This is likely going to be a stronger hold above, and we're also above 50k. That's a psychologically important number. Round numbers are psychologically important, so that's also helpful there. It means all in all, the Bitcoin and the total have, positive momentum. That's all we're looking for here. Bitcoin and the total have positive momentum. If they don't, then your meme coins are not going to fare well, obviously. Now we're looking at Solana, so you might want to look specifically at Solana and not just Bitcoin, right? And there's a very different story going on here. We have broken down through and then back above a resistance zone. Like Solana really shot off a bit much here. This looks like right around 120, again a psychological resistance number. Seems to be a hard cap on Solana at the moment. Well, I would have preferred to see it break down within range and then move back up. In any case, these are again long-term resistance and support levels. We're still within trading range, but given the fact that we've had 3 down days in a row, three red candles there, today's not a good day to trade. Like, you just don't want to trade on a lot of red days. You want to trade on these green streaks going up. That's when you're going to get your best trades into meme coins on Solana. All right, so you want to check the other stuff, be aware of this stuff on just like a weekly basis. Then you check your sort of industry level indicators. This is for the total and Bitcoin. They're kind of both lead indicators for the industry. Then we're going to drill down in our actual ecosystem. The leading indicator for our ecosystem, since we're trading on Solana, is obviously Solana, so we want to check this one. 3 days in a row. Nope, I'm just going to nope out of this one. So that should set you up there. At that point, you can go to a deck screener, and I'll show you a couple of things about this. I've sorted over here. You've seen me sort for. I've clicked first new pairs. For whatever reason, if you click new pairs in different places, it doesn't work as well. You click new pairs off to the side here, then you filter here. I clicked up here, yours will default to all platforms. I clicked on Solana, I hit save. I just applied the default settings, and you toggle the age here. Right. This is set at 24 hours. We don't care about coins after 24 hours. Heck, we don't care about coins after 3 hours. All right, this is actually a very slow day for me, because typically when I'm looking at this for 3 hours, yeah, nobody's launching. Even the meme coin makers are like, it's sort of a waste of our time. You usually fill the whole page with this, and every 3 hours on Solana. So not a lot of stuff happening here. I wanted to pick out this thing from yesterday. This one was a coin that follows a typical pattern. I want to note that for the most part, coins are all going to die. Like coins like actual Bonk coin, the actual Bonk coin, or Kakinu, or Pepe, or whatever else, those are extremely rare. 99.99% of them will die like this. This is the entire lifespan of this coin from yesterday. I'm using a 1 minute candle. you know, like, well, okay, it's continued to go on, but it's obviously dead. It's a dead coin. It died after a couple of hours. Like, I mean, it's surprising. Realistically, let's just say it lasted 3 hours. That's a long time for a lot of these coins. Most of them don't, and the fact that it's still around is kind of amazing. So just a couple of points on this one. What I wanted to explain is most gold, they die. Because of that, the way the coin launchers make money is through being the original liquidity pool providers. You can see the amount of volume they have here. When they initially launch a coin, the makers for the pool are the only ones in the pool. Obviously, how else would anyone else, like, have joined it? And they get all of the transaction fees there. They may have programmed in a tax for themselves. Many don't, though. Right? They just make money from the transaction fees in the pool, and a lot of these trades have a lot of slippage, so they can make quite a bit of money on that. They usually don't get to 3.1 million in volume. This one actually had a lot of makers. I don't know how many of those are from the original LP providers, the makers of the coin, but you know, getting over 1,000 is unusual. This is actually an unusual, very good coin, just so you know. So typically you're going to get something like, let's look at one of these. Here we go. This one just came out a few seconds ago. We're on the 1 minute chart, so obviously that's useless. I changed to the 1 second because you literally want to trade in the 1 second. And all of these transactions are going to have to have been from really the original market makers, and that's why they're just pennies. Right? And so right now what you're seeing is a lot of transactions from the original market makers pushing this thing up, and they have 1.2k volume. So they might be, you know, I don't know if this is all of them or not. Oh, might have just rugged already. Right, this didn't have locked liquidity, right? You didn't notice how at least this one had locked liquidity, so you know they weren't going to rug you from the market making pool, but this one might have rugged already. I mean, these might have been real buys in here, and they just decided to rug everyone. I don't know if this will come back, but this definitely looks super scammy. But they're trying to make money on that volume there. If they make 10%, let's just assume they do, they're up $250, which means they couldn't afford to pay for this thing. This thing costs $300, okay? And in many cases, they're launching tons and tons of these coins, and they're just making a few $100. Even if they're not rugging everyone, that's sort of just the business model. So because they can't afford to pay for a little banner and put their credentials up here, you'll notice this team actually went through the trouble of building 200 followers. I mean, this is just amazing for one of these coins. Building 200 followers, building out a website, doing all of these things, right? And you don't know whether or not your coin is going to die in the first hour. It's a lot of risk, which is why typically they don't do it. And so what instead you do is you can copy that little thing there, you copy it and you go to Bird's Eye and you paste it in here. I'll bring up your coin. That's the contract address that I pasted in here, and in the description over here it has all of this stuff. See, Bird's Eye doesn't require you to spend $300, so I use Bird's Eye to find the actual websites, etc. You know, we could try this on Sorak or whatever the heck this is, maybe. Okay, we found it. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, that's a total scam. They didn't even put up their website or description here. That's definitely going to be a rug. So yeah, that's how you can tell. But some of the coins that are trying to not just immediately rug you will not pay for the stuff up here, but you can find it over here in the description on Bird's Eye, which is why I use Bird's Eye and I use Dex Screener, right? Dex tools can give you a little bit more stuff. You can also use a couple more contract sniffers. I'll go through those in a follow-up tutorial. I'll go through all of the other ways that they can rug you and you can avoid being rugged. That's part of your due diligence. That's in a different video. And the BonkBot setup, that's another video. And then I can show you how I actually trade these things myself. But it's an interesting experiment, and it showed me overall viability for the meme coin economy, why it exists. The coin makers can regularly make money. A lot of the traders can regularly make money. And that suggests to me this will be an ongoing item. Maybe AVAX will be able to incentivize this level of productivity, you know, even on a Saturday. All right, that's everything for today. I'll catch you in the follow-up videos on this. Feel free to ask me any questions. Take care, everyone.